Beware, this video contains spoilers. It's turned out to be one of the most pleasantly surprising movies of 2022. Knives Out creator Rian Johnson talks about behind the scenes, and Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery stars reveal a deleted musical scene. Furthermore, the creator of Teen Wolf the movie teases Allison's return from the dead. Gemma actor Allison Williams says that the scariest version of Megan didn't even make it into the movie. And more. But you'll have to stick around to find out what that is, so let's get to it. Let's start with Knives Out creator Rian Johnson talks about behind the scenes. The Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery by director Rian Johnson is one of 2022's most surprisingly pleasant videos, a sentiment both the critics and general audience have agreed with. Glass Onion is the Agatha Christie-inspired sequel in which Daniel Craig's detective Blanc finds himself as a guest on a murder mystery party hosted by a tech billionaire portrayed by Edward Norton. But then someone actually dies at the party, and suddenly everyone is a suspect in the murder. Johnson broke down the arrival scene at the beginning of the movie in a 20-minute video in which he explains the importance of color and how it influences everything, including what kind of clothing the characters wear. Johnson notes how he wrote Knives Out in 2020 when the lockdown was in full swing. He thinks that's why the story takes place in Greece, because everyone was stuck at home and he would really rather have been on an island in Greece instead of home. However, Johnson says they did have fun figuring out what kind of mask everyone should wear in order for them to reflect their personalities, adding that Kate Hudson's Birdie J often gets a few laughs, as we all knew someone who had some version of what she's done. But even though the masks meant some challenges regarding communication, Johnson believes they do make you focus that much more on the eyes. Also, you can see Catherine Hahn's Claire DeBella smell herself in the background. Did you spot it? Next up, Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery stars reveal deleted musical scene. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery stars Janelle Monáe and Edward Norton revealed that they had a pitch for director Rian Johnson about a musical scene with their respective characters in a flashback for the movie. Norton portrays Miles Braun, and Monáe portrays Andy Brandt in Glass Onion, and apparently the pair had come up with the idea for the scene because of their mutual love of the late David Bowie, and their song of choice would have been Moonage Daydream. Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery is deeply rooted in music, with the title of the movie even being inspired by a song, and every song that was featured in the movie adding something new to the story. Monáe and Norton wanted to explore that connection further and used it to inform the viewer of the past their characters share through it. Apparently, Johnson actually liked the sound of their idea, and a couple of shots were even taken of the scene, with Kate Hudson and Catherine Hahn serving as backup singers. This musical scene would have worked perfectly as some kind of celebration between Andy and Miles after she shows him the napkin responsible for the killer's identity and motive, but the scene ultimately ended up being cut, which is a bummer, because it sounds like it would have been a really fun scene. Do you think they should have kept the musical scene? Following, the creator of Teen Wolf the movie teases Allison's return from the dead. Jess Davis, the creator of Teen Wolf the movie, has teased some important details on the surprising return of Allison. Given how she's dead and all, but it's probably not exactly how you're expecting, Allison originally died in the MTV show Teen Wolf, which is focused on Tyler Posey's Scott McCall, a teenager who gets bitten by a werewolf and is transformed into one himself. Allison was Scott's serious girlfriend in the show until she tragically sacrificed herself to save Scott when they were fighting against the Najasuni, which is why it's so shocking to see Allison seemingly alive and well in the Teen Wolf the movie trailer. The death of Allison was a real turning point for Scott and the pack and left viewers with a lot of emotional damage because she was one of the most prominent and popular characters. Her death came out of nowhere, but it had the desired effect. It showed the pack just how dangerous the supernatural world can be, forcing them finally to realize the real stakes, and that no one can live their lives in peace. If Allison returns just as suddenly in Teen Wolf the movie as she was killed in the series, that could seriously jeopardize the stakes that her death initially put up. But on the other hand, that doesn't necessarily have to be the case. Maybe having Allison return so much later in the timeline will actually show the pack just how far they've come since her death and allow the exploration of the true nature of her passing. What do you think? Hold up, there's more to come. Next, Gemma actor Allison Williams says that the scariest version of Megan didn't even make it into the movie. Joel McHale has revealed revealed the shooting window for Community the movie, and the Flash movie comic gives the best look yet at Ezra Miller's new suit. Stay tuned to get all the details, so let's continue. First up, Gemma actor Allison Williams says the scariest version of Megan didn't even make it into the movie. Megan became an internet sensation long before the movie hit theaters, and dominated the box office in its opening weekend, largely because of the huge hype that had been built up on social media prior to the movie's premiere. Megan blends the creepy doll horror with robot gone wrong tropes and features Allison Williams as Gemma, the scientist that allows her newly orphaned niece to bond with a prototype of an AI companion android that's called Megan, whose eventual self-awareness ultimately leads to a lot of bloodshed and violence. Williams discussed her first reaction to seeing Megan, claiming that she was immediately scared of the eerie, petite doll. She also revealed that there was actually multiple versions of Megan created for the movie, and one in particular stood out to the actor because it was animatronic. And to prevent the eyelids from getting stuck in a half blink, which only added to the doll's already unsettling nature, the animatronic Megan needed her eyes to be lubricated. I know it's not real, but she's talking and blinking and her face is moving, and you're putting something on her eyeball and it just looks so weird. Williams said to bring Megan to life, they used a team of puppeteers, and an animatronic version was used for particular close-ups, but most of what you see was painstakingly created with CGI. There was also a real-life stand-in, Amy Donald, who did the dance sequence and a few other movements that required a little more range of motion. Everything added up has resulted in a truly creepy doll that feels completely authentic, the perfect nightmare doll for the next generation to enjoy. Next, shooting window for Community the movie, revealed by Joel McHale. The shooting window for Community the movie may be a lot sooner than anyone was expecting if we're to believe Joel McHale. Community is an NBC sitcom that ran for 6 seasons and followed a rather eclectic study group of junior college students as they navigate their lives and their highly dysfunctional Colorado community college. The series stood out for its brazen characters and unconventional humor and garnered a very dedicated fan base. And right before the end credits of the final episode of the 6th and final episode of the series, the hashtag "and a movie" is displayed on the otherwise blank screen. And if the Community fan base hadn't latched onto those words before they did now, the first time we heard 6 seasons and a movie was in season 2, episode 21, Paradigms of Human Memory. And Danny Pudi's Abed Nadir was the one who uttered the words. And really, we've been anxiously awaiting the promise to be fulfilled since 2011. Actor Joel McHale, who portrays Jeff Winger on Community, was asked about the long-awaited Community movie during an appearance on a recent episode of Jimmy Kimmel Live, after which McHale jokingly thanked his host for asking about the project, given how it's been in the works for almost a decade now. And according to McHale, Community the movie is looking to start shooting in June, rather than the previously indicated November by series creator Dan Harmon. If that's true, we may be watching the end result as soon as 2024 on Peacock. And now the Flash movie comic gives the best look yet at Ezra Miller's new suit. DC is kicking off 2023 with a brand new The Flash movie comic, which has the best look yet at Ezra Miller's upgraded new suit. The Flash marks the first solo movie of the Scarlet Speedster after Miller made his debut in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, after which he was fleshed out a little better in both the theatrical version of Justice League as well as the subsequent Zack Snyder's Justice League. But the road to a release hasn't been exactly smooth, most troubles stemming from Miller's untreated mental health issues, which have since been addressed. So after years and years, The Flash is finally truly on the verge of being released. The newly released comic that has been released to promote the June release of the movie has given us the best look at Miller's new suit yet. It was confirmed during DC Fandom 2020 that the new suit of The Flash would get a far slicker design, complete with a new emblem, a retractable visor to protect his eyes through his suspended runs, and glowing yellow energy streaks running through the suit as well. Compared to the suit, Barry's suit in Justice League looks more like a DIY creation, held together by scrap materials and hypertension wire rather than a superhero suit. Just how Barry Allen manages to get his hands on the new suit isn't clear, though the only trailer released so far did see him putting on the suit in what looks very similar to the Batcave. The Flash is inspired by the Flashpoint comic storyline and is set to be released on June 16th, 2023. And that's it for now. What did you think of that opening scene in Glass Onion: A Knives Out Mystery? Let us know in the comments. And Thanks for watching.